Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So this is video 5.5. So I had to do an extra on this one. The original version was running way too long, so we had to split it up. Just had to split it up. So anyways, we're finishing up getting the car in bare metal foil, and we are finishing up the grill work on it, getting that completely done, ready to install, and all that good stuff. So all that is coming up right now. So let's go to the bench. So the body's getting ready for bare metal foil, and we can put the handles in. This needs to be painted black up in here, same as this. So we're going to get that started. Yeah, so that left a pretty good line here for us for the bare metal foil. So it works out pretty good. So we're going to start the bare metal foil on the back window. So I'm not going to put it on as one big piece. I mean, I know obviously you can easily do that, but problem is then you waste that big centerpiece. And if you look at a real car, I mean, they're cut like here, you know, it's not one big piece, which, yeah, it works like that, but this will work just as good. And plus I'm not wasting tons of foil, you know, that big center hole. So I'm just going to cut myself 4 pieces off here, and we should be good, like so. That one's a little aggressive. Maybe I'll save this one for the front windshield because that's got the arch to it. Yes, that'll work. So we'll take this one here and cut it down 1 strip. So yes, I'm that weirdo. I like bare metal foiling. This is my other, probably 3rd part of the model I like doing. Paint would be first, decals second, and bare metal foil would be 3rd. To me, this is relaxing. I can sit and play with this stuff all day long and think nothing of it. So we're going to run it high. That way we can roll it in. So the nice thing about this is once this is in, oh, so I got me some of my cool Q-tips too. Pick those up today. Yes, sir. Get that bad boy branched in nice. Oh, I set that right on the line. Look at that. Man, couldn't do that again. So I can roll that down. So look at that. I don't even need to cut it. How cool is that? So we'll cut this just a little bit here. Okay, so now we're going to do the sides. Like I say, we'll do the sides and we'll finish it off at the top and go from there. I got lucky on that first hit, so I don't think I'll get it this time around. So I'm going to go in just a little bit in. I got it pretty close to that line, but we're going to trim her just a little bit anyways. So I'm going to cut this right here. Just give me a little relief. I don't cut it all the way in, just enough to let it come over. When you guys are cutting this, I mean, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. Remember, you're just cutting tin foil. So if you're sitting there just basically making body lines, you're pressing too hard. Just saying. That thing is too, if you slip, and then you're gonna go down the side of the paintwork, and you're like, oh man, why? So while this is tight like this, I'll use something that's non-marring, like a toothpick, and I'll pull this up a little bit, because the toothpick, I mean, yeah, it will scratch it, but not as easy as this will. So you can barely see that line right there. So like I say, I'd rather do this than use a big sheet, and then you just waste that hole inside. But hey, you know, if you guys want to do it that way, hey, by all means, knock yourself out. Okay, so this is bare metal foil. This is actual bare metal foil. I've made some homemade stuff before. The homemade stuff works okay, but my wife bought this for me online, and a couple places we checked for it, they didn't have it in stock, which I thought, what's that all about? And then she paid like a lot of money for it online, like way more than I probably would have paid for it. After she told me, I was like, huh? Is that for 2 of them? I thought, oof. So I thought, better be careful with this one. So we'll go down just a little bit past. And you know, speed isn't the name of the game here. I mean, it's at this point, this is quality, not quantity. You know, one of those type things. And you want it to look good, so why go through and just rush through it and like go to done? I mean, take your time on this thing. I mean, it'll look super sweet with no effort. Just let that knife just guide itself into the body line, and you're good to go. The curves can be tricky. You kind of have to walk around it a little bit. Other than that, it goes pretty smooth. Hope I'm keeping you guys in frame here. I'm pretty bad at that. I'll be like way over here, and you're looking at just like the edge of you're kind of lifting your head up over the screen, trying to like look into the screen further. And I apologize for that. I do that a lot. Beautiful. So we have a little residue here. So how I get that off there is I'll take that Meguiar's Ultimate Polish and just put a little bit on a towel and polish it out. It comes right off. So I can probably cut this a little bit so I don't, because I could use that little end piece on something else. You'd be surprised when you save this bare metal foil how many little applications you can use it. I got little pieces laying all over the place. So I'm just going to show you guys this back window, and I'm going to finish the rest and go from there, because this video is probably going to run long as it is right now. Something like that. Give it the old peel with the old toothy pick. Now we'll re-grab it. Got green fuzzies all over from polishing that hood. They're everywhere. Just like that. Pretty. Okay. So there's our back trunk. Their deck lid window, I should say. So guys, back on the hood. Giving these pins another try, because I'll tell you what, they give me some fit the last time I was on them. So I didn't like the way these sit. They're almost like too high. And I know the key here, the little slot, is offset. So it sits forward to one side versus back, if you had noticed it. So you see how that's offset in there just a little bit. Even if you set them in there, I don't like the way they look. So I took this one and I sanded it down. Now it's more flush. It's up just a little bit, but the other one stuck up like a lot. And I thought, I really don't like that. So what I did is I took a sanding stick, a well-used one apparently, and it was kind of hard to hold, so I just basically held it flat and just slowly ran it back and forth. And I have these green frillies everywhere from when I was cleaning the body. So I just ran this back and forth. Once you got that nub off there, it cut really easy, and it polishes down really quick. It don't take much. I mean, it doesn't take much at all to get that knocked down. I just think it looks nicer with it more flat. I'll get it glued in there, and we'll get it set. But I like how the other one's sitting in there. It's more flush. Like I say, I sanded that end off, and it looks pretty nice. So I'll get this glued on, and we'll get back to that bare metal foil. Alright guys, we got our bare metal foil done. Turned out pretty good. So now I'm going to take a little bit of the Meguiar's polish and throw on the top, and that'll get rid of the excess glue. So I'll take ourselves a little clean rag, and you can go on the around the chrome. I don't usually hit it too hard because it will leave kind of it will kind of dull it just a little bit. But you can go right to the edge of it. See that black stuff there? So that's your glue, your residue. It takes it off really good. Plus it eliminates all the fingerprints and all the other stuff that you incorporated as you went. So just go nice and tight to the edge. Like I say, I don't go over it because it will dull it. It's not going to hurt it, but it does dull it down just a little bit. So I got a lot there in that one. So I started working on the front grille just a little bit. Because before I put bare metal foil in there with a little amber before I put the lens in, and I figured that would look pretty good. But as I'm looking at it, I think it'd be better just, I took the foil off and I just painted it with Molotow marker. It has so many fingerprints on it for me handling it and everything else. Just Being I'm still getting some of this glue off here, it's just easier to do it that way. So that's what I do when I'm done with it. I take and I'll throw a little polish on it and wipe it, and you can see the black on the rag there, and that's the residue off the window. So like I say, I took the chrome off this. I molotoled that, or I'm sorry, I put bare metal foil on and I put some amber in there, because the kit gives you lights for this, like marker lights. So I decided, I kind of mocked up, I got a light, I got actually both lights over here glued, curing. I put the Tamiya orange on it, so I found it was easier to leave the light on the tree and then paint it this way. So once that's cured, I can take that off and then I'll set that on top of there. Because the frame on these are actually black, all around that's black. But I want a little bit of chrome in there. So I did put one headlight in, and I took a black Sharpie and I dotted the headlight just a little bit, just to give that little bit of a cast in there. So I put Mod Podge in there. I just dipped my toothpick in some Mod Podge gloss luster, and I just took and just a little bit around here with it, stuck my light in there. Make sure you line up the bulb, the lens of the light, because it looks goofy when you got them crooked and sideways. So we're gonna let that set for a minute. And I put, like I say, I took the bare metal foil out there, and I just put Molotov pen in there, because I noticed my foil was hanging out just a little bit when I set the light on there, and I thought, well, it'll just be easier to do it that way, and because other than that, I'm gonna have to go through and cut it and trim it. And the window has, the little quarter glass has a little bit of a edge on there, so I just took the Molotov pen and I kept it on the one side. You can see the one side's got the lip on it, this side here. So I took the heavier Molotov pen and just walked it nicely on the edge, and I put that nice little chrome lip on there for me. So I'm gonna let that cure out. So once this dries here, you're kind of like, I guess I got too much on there. So we're just gonna wipe it off. So just bring her back to luster here quick. Ooh, yeah. Careful with the chrome, because you can wipe it off. So before I even do the bare metal foil on this, I actually like to take a little bit of polish, and not really even just polish the body, but just give it a good overall, because that'll actually help the glue come off a lot easier. That's what I've found anyways on my stuff. And I'm going to go through and do the headliner quick, and I'm going to make sure I get it all the way down into here, because you probably will see that if you're looking through. So the hood, I did put those hood pins in. Those are glued in now. So I just think that looks a lot better, sitting more flush. So I showed you I just glued that. So I did is I just put them in there, held them in tight, and took my super glue and just a quick hit and called it good. I still got that little dimple. I'm just not overly happy with it, but I'm afraid to go down too far with it, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So we get the headliner done. So like I say, once that dries, it'll be nice and smooth and flat. Pretty much at this point, the body's done, other than assembling it onto the car. So we're just going to put this off to the side for now, let it dry. And we also got underneath the hood painted. So we're going to let that cure out, and then I'm going to paint these probably a silver once all that cures out. All right, so we are going to move back on to another part of the project. We're going to finish that front bumper up, and then we're probably going to close this video down. So we're going to get those other headlight in. You can see that Molotov's working all right, but the glue's just starting to dry pretty good. So I took some of my Mod Podge, a little bit on a Q-tip. I said a little bit. I just went around the edge here. A little bit like that. Like I say, before I started, I put my marker, my Sharpie, and I put a dot on the inside on the headlight bulb itself, just to simulate a bulb in there. So there's a little notch in there, and there's a notch on the bottom. I just kind of try to line those up just to get it straight. Just make sure my lenses are straight. Because nothing says, what the heck? We got crooked lenses in there. So that Mod Podge will dry pretty decent in there. So I'm also going to put some of that Mod Podge down here on the bottom for these other marker lights. So I'm going to do this side first. So that molotool should be pretty dry by now. And now completely dry out of there, clear. So this marker light, I took this and painted with Tamiya LP53. And then I took my Sharpie and I run around the edge of it. So I give it that nice look, so it's not just a dull, light. Let that dry, and then I'll take my Sharpie and just go around that, make sure that lens is pretty cured out. Yeah, I thought the bare metal foil would work good, but I ended up wrapping it around here, and it was just too thick. And I thought, you know what, that'd work perfect. Put a little bit of the Tamiya on the back side of it and call it good. But apparently it didn't work out too good. I tried setting that light in there, and I thought, no, it just don't look right. So I peeled it and just repainted it. Things you figure out as you go along. So like I said, I just took my black Sharpie, just give it a little edge on it. Nothing too crazy. It's just unbelievable how that makes it look. See, and I didn't even do this side with it, just the way that plastic shines it through. It makes it look like it's all the way around. Changes that whole look of that light. Okay, we'll let that dry. Once those dry, like I said, I'll go back through and hit that again with my Sharpie around the edge, and we should be good. Okay, like I say, we'll leave that set to the side. I think that looks pretty good. Once that Mod Podge dries up in there, that'll look pretty good. Okay guys, I think I'm going to wrap this video up and call this one good. So like I say, clear coat's done, so bodywork's pretty much done. Just have to wipe this stuff off and we'll go from there. So once again, I appreciate you guys watching and checking out the channel and follow along on my little build series I got going on here. So I appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you on the next build. You guys have a good one, and thanks for watching.